Hi friends, now that we have done our Monet bridge and lily pads with crayon, we are going to go in with our cool colored paint, and we're going to be using watercolors. Now again, if you don't have watercolors, you're going to do the same exact thing just with cool colors and just coloring really lightly in where the water should go. So please don't worry if you don't have paint. You can definitely use your crayons or even marker too, because marker won't stick to your crayon as well. But we're going to be using some watercolors. So I have my cup of water, my paintbrush, and my 3 cool colors. Actually, we're only going to use 2. We're going to use purple and blue. We're not going to use green just because our lily pads are green. And so we won't do that just yet. So I am going to take my paintbrush, dip it in the water, make sure it's nice and wet. I am going to start with my blue, and I'm going to paint the water. Now when I paint the water, I'm kind of thinking about how it might be darker in some spots, lighter in other spots. You can paint right over top of your lily pads and it won't stick. I actually like to paint over top of it because it kind of gives it a little speckled look. If you notice that it is sticking to your crayon, it's probably because you have not enough water on your paintbrush. I'm going to leave some spots unpainted so I can go in with the purple. But again, I'm going to be blending those colors too. Maybe some areas I'm going to add a little bit more blue to my paintbrush so it looks a little darker. Sometimes I do that underneath my lily pad so it looks like a little bit of a shadow. Just having fun with this. And again, I do have to keep adding water to my paintbrush so that my paintbrush doesn't get dried out. You never want to have a crazy hairdo on your paintbrush. Alright, now I'm going to go in with my purple. Now, when I go in with my purple, I'm going to clean out my paintbrush. Dab it in the purple. I like to blend it with my blues too. I might even go back over with blue just to blend it in even more. Again, it's really up to you how you want to paint with this purple. Ooh, I love how that purple just blended there. Afraid to blend those colors, and don't be afraid to paint right on top of your crayon. I love doing a crayon resist because you don't have to worry about losing any of those details that you worked so hard on. I'm going to go back in with my blue just to blend in these colors a little bit more and get any white space I may have missed. And I like that some areas are lighter, some areas are darker. And if you wanted to add a little bit of green, you definitely could. The reason why I stay away from the green is because my lily pads are green and I really want them to stand out. But if you want more kind of bluish green water, you definitely could add it. Just have to be careful with the purple. Sometimes that makes it a little muddy looking. Alright. Once I'm done and all the white space is filled in, I have my beautiful watercolor. Now something fun that you can add if you have at home, which works really well with watercolor, if your paper is still wet, you can take a little bit of salt and sprinkle it over top of it. What that does to watercolor, it creates these little kind of speckles in the water, because where the salt is, it absorbs the paint, and so it creates like a little white lighter spot. Kind of neat. But again, you don't have to do that. That's just something fun. If you did want to try, you can. But once you're done, find a safe spot for this to dry, and you have completed your beautiful Monet bridge and lily pad painting. Hope you had fun.